This week I'm going to share with you a handcuff technique that will probably get you hurt or killed, but I've used it, and you know me, sometimes I share too much information about this line of work, so I'm going to share it with you. Hi, Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. And if you're working a job where you've got to handcuff people, probably for most of you who are watching, this is not really the private investigators so much, but loss prevention men and women out there. That's the type of thing where we in the private sector tend to handcuff people. Here's what you're going to run into. Is you've got somebody who you maybe had to run to catch up with. Maybe they didn't even resist you that much, but you do the whole, hey, for your safety and mine, I'm going to put these cuffs on you. You cuff them up, you double lock them, and you bring them back to the office to process them and or wait for the police, depending on what's going on. And if you're in LP, loss prevention, asset protection, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Well, there comes a time when, of course, as you know, a shoplifter in custody is not the highest police run out there, so you sometimes have to wait for the cops to come if you need them. And of course, you don't always. So now here you are with somebody who's reasonably, they're being decent with you, you've got a good read on them, but they're handcuffed and behind their back like they're supposed to be. Don't handcuff people in the front. But now you find yourself waiting and waiting for the police to arrive. And so you have to strike this balance, right? Because those of us who work in the private sector, and I talk about this a lot in how to make a citizen's arrest, we've really got to balance some things law enforcement doesn't. And thank goodness I'm not law enforcement, don't want to do that. Those men and women have problems galore that we don't have to even begin to deal with. Let them have those problems, let them deal with this in the professional world they are. But on our side of it, I start thinking about, okay, 6 months, 8 months, a year from now, when this case goes to court, what's it going to look like if I had this guy cuffed behind his back for an hour when he really never gave me any more physical resistance than running, and once I caught him, he gave up right away? How is this going to play out? How is this going to look? And so it's not a tactically smart decision, and it's not a safety decision maybe, but it's based on the fact that I'm going to have to justify all of this in court someday. I want to appear to be a reasonable person when this case comes to court. So I've decided in some cases, I have decided that I'm going to take the cuffs off of this person. Now, if you're going to take the cuffs off, take them off. If you're going to leave them on, leave them on. Make a decision. Stick with it, right? But here's a thing that's happened a couple of times, a few times to me back in the past when I used to do loss prevention regularly. I haven't done it for years really now, but I will decide I'm going to take the one cuff off this guy. I'm going to cuff him to the arm of the chair. I don't think he's going to give me a problem, but I do want him to be way more comfortable than being cuffed behind the back. So here's the tip I'm going to give you. First of all, if you got somebody in cuffs, they probably need to stay there, but if you for whatever reason have decided to just cuff them to a chair, here's the way I do it. Here's the way I would suggest you do it. Determine what their strong hand is, their dominant hand. And if you've watched them doing a theft or watched them using their phone when they come into the store, you've probably already determined that and know that their strong hand is, say, their right hand. For this example, you want to keep their right hand cuffed. So you stand them up, turn them around, uncuff the left hand, turn them back around, sit them in the chair, reach their right hand across their body, and cuff their right hand to the left chair arm, so that they're cuffed to the chair, but not in a way they can just stand up and leap out and reach at you or go for something on your desk, but so that they have to actually kind of stand up and spin around. Their arm holds them into the chair. It's if you're debating on, you say to yourself, I should cuff this person to the chair, that's the way I would suggest doing it. But really, it is really an at-your-own-risk type of thing. This is Larry K with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.